Sundown, gather round. An unhinged group of peers, mindful wellness, psychology, arts, and culture. 7:48 p.m. Eastern Time. Rifo, were you in Andrew's space this morning where I was talking about the worst date of my entire life?
Yes, I made it in time for the date story. Yes.
Okay, because I've been going back and forth on like retelling it in this recorded space, with it because Tran only caught the very tail end of it. Cece/Cecilia, didn't hear it at all, and
Yeah, you can tell it again.
oh, Jennifer just came in the space too. So now it's a party. Now we got an audience here. Um, okay, I'm gonna tell like a slightly abridged version of, of this story. Now, with that said, I am about to dive into a really trashy story from my life about what happened last night. So I have been back on the dating apps, and again, this will be an abridged version of the story I told this morning. Essentially, what happened is I had matched with a woman who, according to her profile, was like 42 years old, a bit older than myself, registered nurse, which I was like, oh, that's cool, like healthcare. She's probably like, you know, has to like know what she's doing, like probably has her shit together. And so, we had been messaging back and forth for a few days, and I like, had most of the weekend off. So I was like, hey, like, let's get together and like grab a coffee or like, whatever. And so we ended up going out to dinner last night, and she asked me to pick her up from her place, which I was kind of like, oh, like that's a little unusual because like in this day and age, like it's kind of rare for someone to like just give you their home address when you haven't even like really gotten to know them first. So that kind of raised an eyebrow for me. So I show up at her place, and it's like this little cabin outside of Roanoke. Actually, a very like cool, quaint little, like kind of like on the side of a mountain, like more rural than where I live. And so I show up to her place, I get out of my car, and as I'm walking up to her front door, she's like coming out the door, and I'm like, oh, hey. And I said her name. I was like, hey, name of woman, like, what's up? I'm Hunter. Like, it's nice to meet you, blah, blah, blah. And I know she's holding do you guys know what club tails are? Have you, do they have
No,
those?
what are they?
Okay, they're really cheap mixed cocktails basically. It's like a canned cocktail that's like 10% ABV, and they come in these like big like I think pint size, like 16-ounce cans. And so she's just like chilling on one of those, and
Wait,
I'm
what's
like,
ABV? What is that? A
alcohol
hot
by
drink?
volume. Like a beer is like 4% to 5% usually.
I mean,
So
like a
these are like
vodka
10.
spritzer in a
Yeah,
in a
yeah, she's drink.
can?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay.
She's drinking like a screwdriver, and I'm like, oh, okay. It's like that's probably why she didn't want to drive. So responsible, I guess. Um, so I walk up and we're like talking for a few minutes. She lights a cigarette, and I'm like, oh, you smoke? Like, and I didn't say it like in a judgy way. I was just like, oh, I thought that you're a nurse, and so like I wouldn't have expected you to like. And she's like, ah, blah blah blah. I'm like, okay. Anyway, we go out to dinner in lovely, scenic downtown Roanoke, world famous Roanoke, VA. Dinner goes pretty okay, and I genuinely just wanted to go out and like like meet her in person and just like see if she was cool or not. And then like my plan was that I was gonna go home because anything after like 10 o'clock p.m. for me these days is like getting pretty fucking late into the night. So I was like, okay, cool, dinner is over. I'm gonna drive her back to her place. I'm gonna drop her off. I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna fucking sleep. She, on the way out of the restaurant, is like, "Oh my God, like we should totally go do something fun. Like, let's do something fun." And so in my head, I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not drinking. Like, I'm really like getting back on the rails with that." So I'm like, in my head, I'm like, first off, like, I do not want to fucking go to like some weird ass bar, but that's clearly what she wants to do, right? she's like, I know this like really fun karaoke place, and
Definitely, she wanted to go
yeah,
drinking.
Like you just
exactly.
went to dinner. Like you didn't even ask her. Like the date's over.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Jennifer.
Like you're like,
Yes,
let's do something fun. We just did. We had dinner.
yeah. Thank you. Yeah, there was live music there. She had like a, oh, by the way, she had like a glass or two of wine with her dinner on top of the screwdriver. So it was already, I was kind of like, all right. But so anyway, she like coerces me into driving her and myself in the bipolar mobile, the fucking Volkswagen Golf, which I just got out of the shop the other day, by the way. It's a very old vehicle, but it kicks ass. And clearly she thought it was cool enough to want to ride around in it with me. So anyway, so she convinces me to drive to like this actually kind of like low-key sketchy part of town. Um, and there's a dive bar there. And so I'm like, where the fuck do we even park? She's like, pull around behind. Dude, I said this was going to be abridged, and now I'm giving like the straight up play by play of how this all went down. Okay, so fast forward a little bit. So we're in the dive bar. I'm not going to say the name of the bar because then people will like know where they can find me and shit. But it was this really trashy bar. Like clientele is like all like 60-plus-year-old like redneck Southern men, and like their wives and girlfriends and shit, and like everyone's drinking like really cheap, like like PBRs and stuff. And I'm like, okay, this is a vibe, and they let you smoke inside there, um, which is
I want
like
to go. You
cool.
have to give me the name.
Yeah. No, look, you can actually do that on log bars around here in Roanoke, CC. A lot of
Really?
places. Yeah, it's
God,
crazy.
I
It's
haven't been to
not
Roanoke in a
everywhere, but
decade.
I know. Well, if you come back, I'll show you the bars that let you smoke in them. So anyway, yes, so there is karaoke happening. This lovely lady who I'm with, 10 years my senior, but actually, honestly, like pretty attractive. Like I would even dare say very attractive woman. And she kept like making references about how she's like, oh my God, like I'm so much older than you. And I'm like, okay, like the more you talk about it, like the weirder it gets. And then like so she's like singing karaoke. There's a lot of people singing karaoke. It's a really weird fucking scene. This goes on. And by the way, remember, I did not want to fucking be
Wait a
there. I
minute.
was
Wait a minute.
totally,
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You drove her there and you didn't drop her off. You went in.
yeah, I went in
Oh
with
my
her.
God!
That was the thing. Like she wanted to bring me to the, yeah.
I thought
So
you were
yes,
just
to
giving her a ride because you had
no,
never
no. So to
gone.
clarify, she wanted to do like an activity together. And so this was the activity of her choice. And so I'm like, I guess I'm fucking here right now. I really didn't want to be there. And now it's getting to be like 11:30. She is like an additional like 3 or 4 shots of tequila plus like a Captain and Coke deep, getting progressively more and more hammered. I have a non-alcoholic Bush Light, which is like
Bush
a
Light,
thing.
not alcohol. That's the
Yeah,
worst
they
one,
may, I
probably.
know. I'm not bragging, Cecilia. Thank you very much. I know
That's all
my
they
life
had, huh?
sucks. That's all they had that was non-alcoholic there. And so okay, anyway, so fast forward, it's like now after midnight, and this fucking party is like still raging. And I go up to her and I'm literally like, hey, listen, I know you're having a good time and like I hate to be a downer, but like I've got to get out of here. I was like, we really have to go. And she's like, why? And she's like slurring her words. She actually spits in my beard because she's like talking really close to me and her voice is all slurry. And it's like, yeah, so it just gets grosser and grosser. Um, Eventually we are driving home. It is after 12:30 at night. She starts having like an emotional breakdown in my car about her ex-husband, and some stuff with her kids and like all this other shit. It gets like super heavy and sad. She's like really, really upset. It's like a 25-minute drive from the bar we were at to get back to her, hillside cottage. I dropped her off, and I'm like, do I like walk her to the door? Like, it's literally like a 15-foot walk, but I'm like, she's really hammered. And so I asked her, I'm like, hey, like, are you okay? Like, do you want me just to like drop you out front? Like, what's up? And she's like, no, just like drop me out front. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then she proceeds to sit in my car for like another 10 minutes, like just like really like being upset. And I'm like, okay, if you need to talk, like you got my number. And she's like, all right. And I'm like, okay. And so I watch and like make sure she's able to get into her house. I peel back onto the mean streets of the Blue Ridge Mountains, go back to my house, question my life decisions for like 3 hours, and then I took my sleeping medication and went to bed. And that's how my Saturday night went. It fucking sucked, and I'm really upset about it.